Welcome back. You're here because you can't sleep, or maybe it's just actually during the day and you just want to watch some anime. Either way, we're here with a vampire and someone who doesn't go to school, and another one who's slightly trying to urge him back into normality. But with the allure of being a vampire, being able to stay out at night and do what you like, just with the small caveat of needing to fall in love first before you can join, how exactly is that going to unfold into the story here? And since human friends and vampire friends are being in separate categories now, how's our resident night-faring troublemaker feeling about it all? I guess we need to watch the episode to find out. Is this her actually going to school? Bit distracted though. How could he not? Perfect reasoning. People have such mundane lives. So while you're able to try and get some sleep, late nights are part of life. And apart from just going to school, does she have anything really that she does? Necessary. So far, we've only just seen a relatively normal. A half eight. Relatively normal day. Go to school, finish school, and then in a few hours get ready for bed. Might be the reason why she's up so early. If didn't she say she was going part of the vampires trying to help people to sleep? Wasn't that one of her things? And how is that going to align with this new girl? And anyone else that gets introduced later on, I guess. Is there going to be any sort of lesson to be learned in this one? Sneaking out again, trying to make as little noise as possible. We saw before, and there was definitely less noise. Funny, he only just remembered that. How long has she been waiting there? There's no games being played today. Just because he's too embarrassed to show his face immediately. Does he need this one explaining to him as well? Kind of like what the stages of friendship are. What are they waiting for? Ah, they're watching the normies up there on the overpass. Must be nice. Well, unbeknownst to them, those two had an audience. So he's, what, one step closer to the goal of being a vampire, right? Even though the kiss was forced upon him. So many weird feelings. What's going on in his head? Well, probably not a lot going on in there, to be fair. Well, you've kept her waiting for too long now. She's taking away the vampire powers. Screw you. Can it be retracted so easily? Out here in the middle of the street? What are you thinking? There's so much wrong. And how long is how long is he going to keep up the success here before he goes plummeting back to earth? And he can say it so confidently like that. I don't feel. Well, put it to the test. Also, we haven't learned any of the drawbacks of being a vampire. She hasn't talked about her life that side. Really, overly animated fingers. Good thing there's no CCTV or anything outside these shop fronts. Nope. I mean, she's not the one that makes the rules. Exactly where is the precipice of when it actually activates and you can become a vampire? He's so innocent. He can be pushed over by a light breeze. Now, personally, I don't particularly care for the separation of the two, but in this case, it does work. How could she mess with his feelings like that? And yet, she doesn't hold the same kind of meanings to it. Ah, so much like the separation of lust and romance. Romance and friendship are also split. Which they should be, obviously, but she's got different ideas of what it means. Ah, get dressed, off on her way to school. I mean, we saw what time she goes to bed. If she's not able to sleep, then 2-3 hours of unrest. Kind of surprised she's still able to somewhat function. Yep, you can ruin your health easily by going off that sleep schedule. And there's plenty of opportunities to do so. If she's got nothing better to do. How lively. K.O. And while you invited her to come along and hang out, you don't have a spare controller. Also, I like that it is just straight up PlayStation there. There's no trying to hide it. Seems like a lose-lose. Ah, son. That's why he hasn't won yet. Her image of him is falling more and more. Yeah, the vampire side of it, that's not the issue. Does that make it better? Sewing club. Now I wonder what exactly is this referencing? Might be the right word. Even the music. What kind of games are they trying to get you to play? Let's not go. He doesn't want to go to school. Because it's a pain. Are we actually going to get into the meat of what it is? More than agoraphobia or, fear of crowds and the like. See, is there a way out? Is it just, forced choices? Are you going to start beating them? We're just adding to the roster. What a chance meeting. And now, there is so many conversations along these lines that go on in the Discord, usually boiling down to this kind of inanity, but I think it was the fact that she wasn't overtly pushing herself on him at the beginning. That was his initial draw to the character. However, well, so everything here is confirmed your worries. Yes, it's incredibly sketchy, just in a completely different way. Well, there's only one bed. I mean, she says whatever it is to. Well, in that case, she's she's still got. Yeah, she's still got in the bed though. Like it really matters, but I make that distinction a lot sometimes when it's for my own benefit. Early morning, late at night, whatever. She just can't escape, can she? The weather just is not fair. Seriously, forcing him into things in front of people. Think about your company. The thing is, it's really not that complicated. What's going on here? It's just the people involved are a little eccentric and dense. He has blood. It tastes nice. He's okay with having his blood extracted. Why are you joining in? Itai. Well, part of the reason is because, well, it's a vampire and it's just kind of interesting. Another was mentioned slightly earlier how being a vampire will get him away from the drudgery of his life, school, parents, etc. What aspirations to hold. There's only so much malice that can be held back, though. Did he not have ideas of the future, though? Let's talk about the specifics of this deal, shall we? It's the reason why they've got this kind of haphazard relationship. And he's so motivated and energetic about this explanation. It's not the sunlight that's going to burn her up, it's this talk. I see this is going to be. Oh, that was a quick change. The conversation drifted away from romance and love, so she regained composure pretty quickly. She's got no choice now. She'll be hounded until she gets back down and tries to sleep. Not sure about the rain texture going down the window. Seemed a little too uniform. Into his crazy life that he's had going on now. It's so much that there is to worry about it, considering. And maybe a little more now that he's actually been able to meet up with her again. He's so reserved for health reasons. Yes, relax your arms, try and get comfortable. You don't want knots in your muscles and the like. Still wearing the transceiver. That was almost too lewd. talk about getting your neck out in public, but then we had almost hand touching. Something to actually look forward to, something in his life that he can cling on to. It might be difficult as a vampire, but going to school isn't going to be the be or end all. I wonder if she's actually going to be able to fall asleep today. Having fun with a friend like this. Be a little relaxing in his own way. Hmm. But even if he did... Morning. What happened to the last 5 hours? That was overly animated putting on of the socks, but... Okay. And how long has it been to... Has it been since someone said that to her as well? Ah, because she was content, able to sleep. She's helping people out slowly. Now and again. Maybe she'll come around and play for another night. To be fair, I think part of the issue is that they've got the lives that they're unhappy with, doing nothing about it, just thinking out this is the way it is. And getting into bad routines, having possibly several layers of depression and other things going on there, but just thinking, oh, nothing can be done about it. I'll just walk around for several hours. Oh, I don't like my life or parents or family or anything like that, so stay up playing games and wandering around meeting a vampire for hours. Granted, his one kind of worked out. He did actually find something. You know, there are times, well, still times, where I'm slightly restless, unable to sleep, but I know that there would be very easy ways to actually help me drift off during the night. I don't believe that having my blood drained would be one of them. Maybe playing Street Fighter, which is kind of a fun game considering my YouTube recommendation list recently, and being able to say goodnight to someone that you have fun with before going to sleep. Those would definitely make you feel a little more content, more happy, and give you a bit more of an ease up and lease of life. Exactly how much is her entire day going to get flipped now that she's had this extra bit of sleep after school and might be slightly late? And the idea of her trying several times to get him to go to school. At the minute, it's just been, oh, we go to school. No. Get into the meat of it. What exactly he doesn't like, help him work through that. Maybe give him some alternatives or some rewards for going to school. Ease him back in gently. Then again, he's got this life now. The allure of being a vampire is better than learning some English. Now, if you were trapped in a life of mundanity, what would you like to do? Personally, even going outside and walking around seems a little much for me. Lay there, do nothing, stare at the ceiling. That sounds likely. Or the next 8 hours watching YouTube. So many hours wasted. But I guess in a life devoid of the internet, there are only certain things you can do. Plus, it wouldn't exactly make for a thrilling show that way, would it? And exactly how far down the road are we going to go with this character and our vampire so easily affected by words of love and romance? Are things actually going to start working out, or is it going to become a little more complicated with the addition of more people? And considering what we saw during the openings and whatnot, there should be more characters being wheeled out sooner or later. Despite some setbacks, everything seems to be going so smoothly. You know, the acceptance of vampires and having your life kind of flipped and turned like this is perfectly normal. I guess all it really does need showing is, yeah, you've got these canines and you're drinking blood. Yeah, it fits. Vampire. I wonder if being sleep deprived actually helps with that reaction and not screaming bloody murder about someone drinking someone else's. Plus, how many meals a day is she getting? She was quite thirsty today. Out on the street, back home as well. Needs to start rationing, or there won't be all too much to go around. But I do like Kira, the fact that she's got nothing really going on. She doesn't have anyone back home to wish her good night or speak to after school, so, go to school because it's something you expected to do. She doesn't exactly care. The tapping of the pencil in the book, she's not paying all too much attention. Everything just seemed so routine. So with that, I want to see more. There's certain characters that I definitely want to know more about. We may need to forego a little beauty sleep once in a while, but if that's what it takes, at least we get to see more anime. So no matter what your sleep schedule is, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more, maybe even my Discord. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Half hour would do. Then you can get back to playing Street Fighter. See you in the next one. I really do put emphasis on certain hand movements or putting on socks. I'm not sure if I even want to meet the people who animated those.